What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Welcome back. This is the second video that we'll be doing here. Basically, going over everything. Hoping the audio is good. I'm a little new to this, so bear with me. Hopefully, won't need to make too many corrections. But anyway, let's jump right into it. So, as you can see here, we're currently in run, farming tier 15. It's kind of where it's like the sweet spot for me. I get the most coins. I get the best bang for my buck in terms of sells in variation with the coins. Um, Usually about 12-hour runs, 11 and a half or so hour runs that I'm doing. I get anywhere from 12 to 12.7. I think it just kind of depends on what fleets I'm getting around that time. Because there is like a fair amount of variation. Um, However, I'm not super particular when I respec. So sometimes I think that I'm maybe making a couple minor adjustments that I don't per se realize right off the bat. Um, but anyways, so let's look at some previous runs. We'll start off there. Everything's kind of just going smooth here. Um, this is what we're looking at here. About 12,000. I dabbled with a little bit of 16, and you can see the difference here. 35 compared to 41. I think I had a pretty similar 16 here, 36. Um, and then as far as cells per hour, 189. 180 is that right? Yeah, 187. So better better cell income, better coin income. 15 is like the number. I'm really hoping that I can get 16 to a point where I can start farming that. So there's a little bit more convenience. However, I keep kind of going back and forth with that because it's not actually that inconvenient. I only have to start a run two times. I don't have auto restart, but I might as well because it kind of works with my schedule. It's always overnight. The only tough thing is if I happen to have one run a little bit longer, start a little bit earlier, and then I have a little bit of a pause in my day or whatever where I can't restart the run right away, I'll end up in a situation where I'll finish a run a couple hours sooner than I'd like to, and then I'm kind of just dabbling with some milestones or something like that. But I'm not respecting for them, so they're not really legit milestone runs. But yeah, so I mean, this is where we're looking at. I'm making excellent coins here, getting to the point where I'm, you know, averaging close to 1Q a day. Big Q that is. Um, Doing really good. I mean, I'm really happy with where I'm at. Um, Kind of start off here. We'll just look at the cards right away. Running this, I think it's the same cards as I was running last time I did the first video. That was about a month or so ago, maybe a little longer. I kind of procrastinated. Yeah, that was over a month ago. So I'll probably almost 2 months ago. So haven't really changed too much in cards. I might have gotten the area effect unlocked. That's been, I guess I haven't noticed a huge difference since I equipped that. I don't have the mastery yet, but seems to be a little effective, I guess. Kind of hard to say at this point. But nukes maxed out. All these are maxed out, with the exception of Super Tower. Um, Free ups, I only have a couple levels because I don't really lock that many things. Um, and extra orb I'm working on right now. I think I'm on level 6, and then I don't have damage mastery maxed out because I'm an EHP primarily. I honestly, everyone's hybrid at a certain point, and I don't care what anybody says. I'm not going to say that I'm hardcore EHP or glass cannon. Primarily EHP, but I still turn up my enhancements for damage to like 2.2 for tournaments just because I max everything out as best as I can with the EHP labs or the enhancements, and then they're too expensive, and I'll be sitting there with, five, six, 700 small Q left over to spend, and it's like, well, you're not just gonna not spend it. You can't buy any more ticks into the defense enhancement, so you might as well dump them somewhere. So yeah, so I mean that's where we're at with cards. We'll take a look at the let's take a look at the modules here. Getting some more ticks here, just kind of slow moving. I haven't been buying a lot of modules. I've been rushing labs more often than buying modules for several months. Um, but I am now going to start stacking up some gems. I hear it's in the works that we should hopefully be having a lucky banner or some to some effect. As you see, we have these module tickets from the anniversary gifts. In addition to that, not too much has changed. I did, that's not true because I did a bunch of re-rolling. I spent like 4 million re-rolling here, I think it was, and didn't get what I was looking for. I also spent an absolute boatload re-rolling for negative mass projector to get defense. So with this setup here, with it in the assist slot, and if I move OA into the primary spot, so I get these up and have a defense, I'm still like 1% less in defense, and it's like unbelievably noticeable. I'll do several hundred waves less trying to use negative mass projector right now because I don't have that extra tick in defense. I thought it would compensate with the damage reduction, which I would think theoretically should be more than 1% based on the fact that it's 2.5% stacking to 50. But that was not my current experience. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time to dial this in exactly and get sharp fortitude out of here. It seems like that's kind of the trend. Also, another thing that I'll add in that is very un-EHP, like, I run an Amplifying Strike. I don't have great damage, I don't have horrific damage, but I use Death Penalty, and I don't do as good. I don't know if I just have really bad luck with it. I pretty much just run this. I mean, the only thing I change for tournaments is I put in Pulsar Harvester. Everything else stays the same. And that's kind of the tough spot I'm in right now, and I should be buying more modules, and that's what I'm going to start kind of shifting some focus to, because I'm getting to a point where I'm happy with where some of my labs are, and I don't feel the need to rush them for immediate progress. Plus, I'm also starting to realize that, you have to make several labs in a lot of cases before you'll notice any sort of difference. So that's another factor that I've kind of realized recently, whereas I rush 2 levels of like wall fortification or something. Man, it makes literally no difference. I mean, that extra 40% of increased wall fortification, it's not going to add that many waves. I mean, if anything, you'll get a couple waves, but you might get an unlucky, fleet and just get cooked anyway. So it's kind of hard. So I'm coming to that realization now after wasting, 100,000 gems. I don't know, something. I'm exaggerating that, but it's something stupid. So yeah, so that's where we're at. I'm really getting to the point where I need some tournament modules. I feel that I need some tournament modules because I would really like to be able to dump off Galaxy Compressor. But in order for me to do that, I have to and I was just doing some dabbling because I don't ever use this. But I put these bad boys on, and you still need to do a good amount of clicks here to get this up. If you have the substats here. So you need the substats on the assist in addition to substats on the primary. And it's like, what do I want to drop here? This one I need to eventually reroll. Oh, this is what it was. I spent 4 million reroll shards. Try to reroll this. I didn't get it because I wanted to dump this off. Because once I max that out here, I won't need the assist spot anymore. But yeah, just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. 4 million reroll shards. Didn't get it. But back to where I was saying, it's like, what am I going to dump off here? Nothing makes sense. I mean, I use all this stuff for farming. I'm hardcore about getting my cells. I want to get the cells. I want to get for tournament, you want to get the health up as fast as possible. So you want a shorter cooldown. The only one that's arguable for farming is, I guess, as an EHP, I could get rid of this, but I use the angle for farming for the coin bonus. I mean, that's, and I have four spotlights, so that's a lot of percent. I mean, so yeah, so I'm kind of in a rock and a hard place. I need to buy a lot more modules so I can get a duplicate of one of these two. And then, I mean, it's going to take a ton of reroll shards to get where I want to be. I'm seeing that. I've started working on some bands. I have started working on some bands. I think I have 2 bands now. I believe I have 2 bands. Let's take a look. Yeah, I have 2 bands. So that's good there. And then I think I have a couple bands over here. Yeah, I got 2 bands in here, which I have not, and that was my own fault. That was my, but I, to reroll this. Yeah, I have the additional band now, so hopefully that will help. We'll see. But yeah, these are starting to move really slow in terms of levels. I'd really like to get up to that 201 spot. So we'll see how that's going in the next several months. Yeah, what's next? Events are doing what they do. Guild's really good. I'll buy this eventually. I'm not, if I'll buy it when it makes sense. I buy it now. Nothing I can really buy with it. I'm mainly focused on. I'm kind of getting to the point here where, so I want to do a couple things. I want to finish the 2 labs for this, and I'll end up respecing after. I'm going to finish those. Then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to max out the cooldown on the bot. I might try that out. Max it out so it's like always up. I'll probably put the range, if I have enough, at the same, and I'll keep this at like 1.2, and I'll see how many gems I have to burn, or pardon me, metals, and how much I'll have to sacrifice out of here. This is really good for where I want it. And I'm getting close to auto restart on keys, and that's my priority right now because I'd like to just always have it running. I don't like the idea of, I get busy at work, can't restart the run, half hour, an hour, 2 hours goes by. I'd like to also, when I get to the point with the tier 16 runs, that I can effectively run those overnight, and if I'm not going to be awake in time, it'll just run back. So getting to that point, but as I'm getting stronger here, I think I'm going to end up, hopefully getting to that like 8,500, 9,500 mark on tier 16 pretty soon. But once I do think that once I hit the auto restart, I think I'm going to do a 2-week spin of hardcore farming. And I think what I'll do is I'll dial back the flame bot considerably. Probably to about half of the damage reduction that it's at. We'll keep the cooldown the same, so it's just hitting everything. I think we'll keep the range. We'll probably dial that back a little bit. But I think I'll dial back the damage reduction 50% for 2 weeks. I'll be cooked in tournaments. I won't be getting keys, which is fine. Because I'm going to want to just milk some farm. And I think we'll dial these two in sync with one another and see what happens. So I'm doing some thinking still. Once I get these done, I'll see where they're at, and we'll kind of make some decisions there. Event shop, everything's bought. I had all these already before today, or before this event. Already bought those two. you know, I don't think we have any of the crazy ones yet. We'll see what pops up, but you know, I didn't get smart missiles number 3 last week, so that's tough. Let's see, what do we got? What else do we need to go through here? Labs. Let's check out the labs. Like I said, number 6 on Orb Mastery. They're about to finish the recovery package max. I've been learning that recovery package and package health and stuff becomes more important than your wall. And I heard it. I don't recall who exactly phrased this. I think it was Giga. I'm pretty sure it was Giga. I could be wrong, so I apologize if I'm wrong. I think it was Giga that said that basically you get to the point, even with EHP, that your wall is just another energy shield, basically. So I'm trying to take note of things like that early on here. Wall fort's almost and by almost done I mean this is probably like another month of running this lab for these last like 5 levels. This is max of 20. This is a max of 25, so these are getting close. When those are done, I keep these in here for organization purposes. That's the reason. I will probably go back into a little bit of range. I learned a little bit from Zephyr that range actually makes a big improvement. So I've been dabbling with that the last couple tournaments. This tournament, I actually forgot to use my range slider. Completely forgot about it. Thought something was abnormal. Ran the tournament twice. Did pretty good. I mean, I did about on par with my average, but I'm now all day I've been just wondering, dang, could I have done better with you know, got an extra place and into another slot for keys if I'd used my slider. Because I think I keep it at about 25. Oh, I'm in run, so I can't click on it, right? Yeah. So yeah, getting pretty close on these ish. Not really, close-ish. Those two are getting there. But I do want to get those. They're just getting by long. I mean, they were getting there. We'll work on this when this is done. And utility, I gotta get that back in. I gotta slot it in. I just gotta suck it up and do it. You know, it's gonna take a while, but I do need to make some progress there. Same thing with this. I just I just don't notice the biggest improvements from that. So waiting 25 days, you know, one level doesn't make a huge difference. You know, you do 3 levels, it ends up being a very big difference. But just the one level, it's a lot of time to not get a lot of reward. Kind of same thing with this wall regen. That 10% is great, sure, but man, it's not until you add like another 30 or 40%, and I mean that's gonna take a couple months, I think. I mean, I think I saw the last level is like, I don't remember how many 100 days. It's absolutely stupid. And same thing with this. As a primary EHP player, I gotta get this done. However, a little interesting thing that I've been monitoring, and this is why I really want to dabble with the Flamebot with the bot at when I get to that point, because my defense percent in run here, not in tournament, in run, when it's maxed out at 98% is 121 S. I'm just behind that on Flamebot. It's a couple S behind every run. So I'd really like to get to the point that I'm doing enough with my Flamebot that I can surpass this, because that's going to be that's going to make a huge difference. But right now, I have a couple priorities, because with the overheat mechanics, I'm not able to run that much farther than I already run. You know, I get the extra fleets, which is ultimately what ends up killing me. And then I get the skip decay. So I go all the way down to 0 skips, and then I just start getting bombarded with fleets, and that's what ends up killing me. So nothing's going to really improve that um, going that much past 12,000 waves. So it's like then you got to bump up to the next wave, but until I can improve on some disco runs, um, it just does. The coin multiplier isn't making sense as you can see here. Coins per hour 35. You know, I can go make over a longer run a lot more coins per hour. You know, so that's something I gotta kind of think about and mull over what the best strategy is gonna be for me. Um, but back to the labs here. I've been getting killed by some scatters every once in a while. I've taken a lot of damage in tournaments, which is why I slotted this back in to go in soon. Um, so yeah, I'm not exactly sure the exact order. I mean, I want to finish this up pretty soon because then I can take both those out. I'll be able to get both those out of there. This will be gone. I want to max this out then. Let's wipe that board. At some point in there, I'm going to slot this back in and just leave it. Really don't want to. And I'm having a hard time figuring out exactly when to put wall regen back in. I know it's one of the more valuable labs for my position. Same with wall thorns, but it's like I said, you know, even especially wall thorns more than anything, it's really hard to get value out of 1%, just where I'm at. So a lot of things to think about, a lot of quick labs that I want to get to. A lot of quick labs, like these I'll end up getting back, you know, a fair amount. I know that this is one that I should be maxed out. Um, you know, as silly as it sounds, I'm an EHP hybrid player, you know, but I'm gonna dump some more levels into these because I get more benefit out of that based on the time than working on these things. You know, they just take so long. Um, let's see. You know, this is another one that's I'll be able to dump, you know, 5-10 levels in fairly quick. I got to do that. Um, this is going to have to get maxed eventually. You know, I get an extra 50% multiplier there. So, another one that, you know, I'm in this for the long haul. I was reminded of that by Shadow Saber today. He's like, you know, Econ is king. I'm in it for the long haul. I need to get these things done because the longer I play, the more benefit I get out of having those done sooner. So that's one that I really want to get done, or at least slotting, you know, chip another 10 waves or so at it. It's probably another good one to dump some waves into at some point. Same with that for the tournament benefits. Don't really have another need for bans. Oh, that actually reminds me. I've totally forgot ever since I was doing some disco runs. I need to reorganize the coin trade-off perk back towards the top. So let's see what else do we got in here. This is another one. I need to finish these last couple levels. Chipped away at a couple of these. What did I do? The boss. I think I did some boss. Yeah, I did some boss because I was getting absolutely torched by bosses like a month ago in tournament. So I did some boss levels there. Got up to 2 bans on both of those. And let's see, we got some battle condition reductions going. I think there's, what is it, 10 levels. So that's another one that actually we're going to probably slot that in sooner than later. And these are, well, they're not actually that expensive for where I'm at now, but these are ones that I'll be thinking about at some point. Enemy attack speed. That's a really good one. I'd like to start working on the coin bonus. Oh man, enemy speed too. I've never really looked down this far because these were so expensive, and I just didn't have the economy to even think about it. These were all red boxed, you know, for the longest time. So It's a little interesting, but yeah, I got let's see which one. Oh yeah, I got 3% here. You know, I got up to 800, and yeah, that helped with the defense percent. Um, so yeah, that's where we're at with the labs, chipping away at them. Takes a long time, obviously, but it is what it is. Um, so yeah, we can probably just exit this battle. I'm thinking. We could take a look at the tournament here. So it did get knocked down to 10th. I was at ninth like all day, so it knocked down to 10th. Totally fine. That guy wasn't getting any close to. That's what I was kind of saying. It's like I'd like to know what I do with a little bit more range, but this is exactly why I didn't run it. Because man, if I got lucky and somehow by chance was able to squeeze out another 100 waves, wouldn't have made a difference. But there's no way like having an extra freaking, I mean, even if I had a 50% more range, I don't think it would have made that much of a difference because this tournament, I got really stuck with commanders and Rays being inside the commander range. And I had a couple commanders that sat on my screen for, oh my goodness. I didn't think they were ever going to go away. So that's what ended up killing me this tournament. I don't really screw around with smite toggling, so that is just what it is. I mean, I should, but you know, I'm usually a little distracted during tournaments. That's why I haven't really thought much about streaming tournaments. Maybe I will at some point, but just haven't. I get distracted. I have dogs. I work all day and stuff. You know, I come home. My dogs want to play with me. My wife and I aren't having kids, so our dogs are our kids, you know, and have a really deep connection with them. So it's a lot of that. So I get distracted and stuff. So it's hard for me to micromanage, you know, smite toggling and things like that. I mean, I'll get distracted and walk away and end up dying and then having to rerun the tournament. When I got to the point that I could intro sprint, you know, the first several hundred waves, I mean, that was just such a game changer because I was doing like 2 3 hour tournaments because I needed the card space, so I couldn't run the intro sprint, and I wouldn't build up enough health and be able to survive long enough that I needed to run at a slower speed. So now that's I'm just in a lot better spot with that, where I can usually intro sprint to 7 800 waves or so and still max out my death wave health. As far as disco runs, let's take a look at those. I got one ultimate here that I still need to do. I just been procrastinating because it's not really gonna make. Again, it's just not gonna. It's gonna add like 0.1% or something silly, 0.2%. It's not gonna make a huge difference. Um, I'll go back and do this one at some point. I got really close. I just didn't want to run it again. I'd like to get to the point where when I respec, I can knock out hopefully 2 of them, or at least get close on this one and finish this one. So I'd like to just save up enough coins where I can dump enough into enhancements to make an adequate difference. Um, and yeah, I should probably try a couple of these ones soon. I mean, here I wouldn't do anything. It's probably not there, but this one I could probably make a little dent in. Because I know I'm higher. I'll easily get higher than where I'm at here, but percentages are all right. You know, just kind of focusing on the econ side of things. Oh yeah, I'm in run, so we could probably just end this run. It's gonna end pretty soon anyway. Let's see what do I got here. No, I mean I'm gonna let this run out. But my coin bonus is let's see. I think it's like 16. It's about 900 times difference up to 16, and down to 14 it's like only like 12 or 13,000 or something, which is odd. Let's see, guilds. We'll check out the guilds. Guardians, guilds doing good. Store, chipping away. Got everything. Just about everything. Free utility, attack speed, got everything there. And guardians, attack chip, chipping away everything I get. I'm pretty much dumping into the cooldown here. just to get that down. I think I'll max that out. Fetch, let's see, fetch. I haven't got the rare daily module, so every time I don't get this, I'm like, do I just need to dump a ton more in? Oh, this is just because it just reset. I forgot. I was like, wait a second. I'm pretty sure there's everything maxes out here. I monitor that pretty well. And summon, I got this just where it is. Take it off for tournaments and stuff. So that's that. Not really going to be doing anything here for the foreseeable future. Let's see. Check out the vault here. So this was huge. I got the nuke automation. Only downside to that is you have to get through your intro sprint of 1,800 waves, which takes about 20-something minutes, 25 minutes or so. And then you have to manually hit the nuke one time. And then the nuke will run. So that's one thing that it kind of sucks. So when I do get auto restart, I will have to go into run at least once during run to activate the nuke so I can use my nuke mastery and slow attack speed. Or it is attack speed, right? Not mixing that up. Attack speed, yes. So that makes me think that, well, I'll need nuke automation, but I've seen a lot of people's comments about when nuke automation goes off, you just die like right away anyway. So I'm not really sure, and I don't know if that just kind of coincides with the need then to get these two, get to this. So maybe the nuke goes off, then this saves you again, so you can rebuild your wall or something. Then attack speed slows it down. I just don't know if there's enough time for everything to work in unison there. But I also check it enough, and that I can probably click the nuke at least one time and run, which will substantially prolong the run. But yeah, here we go. We'll come back to this other stuff eventually, but looks like we're walking away with 6 keys. So another click here. Boom. Another enhancements. 5, 10, 15, 35 after today. So, I mean, I've been doing pretty good. I mean, let's take a look at the history here. Look at that. That's probably pretty dang good. I had a couple, like, look at this. I had these lucky 2 here. I got some lucky brackets on those 2 because I wasn't even that good, as you can see here by these performances. But now we're starting to stabilize. We're starting to stabilize just performance-wise. 12, 10, 10. Another 10th place finish today that's not logged on here yet. So starting to stabilize and starting to kind of find our stride here with waves. Last week was the 2 tournaments ago was really tough. Everyone did really poor. I think there was fast alts on that one. Yeah, there was fast alts on that one, which I struggle with. But everything else, I mean, this was felt like a fairly easy bracket, but I also felt like I made some not easy. I feel like I just made some leaps with my progress, and it was just a good matchup for me on that bracket. But like this one, yeah, we did 1182, and I felt good with that. I mean, that was good. I didn't feel like I really could have done much to do better. But I have a lot more coins, a lot more stones invested. I'm not free to play. I've probably been on the whale side for a little bit. Not really. I've never. I think there's like a couple months that I bought all stone packs. But otherwise, it's like a couple here or there, a couple here or there. I buy the event boosts. I'll buy the specialty packs, like the they did the spring cleaning or whatever. When they got the medals and stuff, you pretty much have to buy those, because medals at the end of the day, I mean, I've seen it from everybody. I mean, nobody has all their bots maxed out. And there's people that have been playing for years longer. I mean, there's people that, make make this a minute, or way more than that, a minute. Um, and it's what I'm sitting in the bank. I got yeah. So um, that's kind of where things are at. I mean, guild's good, tournament's good. I think yeah, we'll finish this up, and um, then we'll take a pause here because, like I said, we're gonna do some dabbling with the respec on the bots, and we're gonna tank tournament performance for 2 weeks. Um, I might even get to mode it, honestly. I mean, and it'll be okay. It's for the long term progress, because if I can just make a crazy amount of coins, if I can like double or triple my coin income for 2 weeks, I think that would just be ultimately beneficial, because I'll come back with way more enhancements, respec everything out, add an extra 5 levels into level skips, or 20 levels into 10 levels into health regen or health or whatever. It's gonna balance itself out. Speaking of which, so this is where we kind of run for the farm. um I just put these at 7 or 6, whatever. 135 there. 2.4, 2.3, 2.4. I got this finally up to 1.6 here. And then slowly kind of adding up on these. This is actually the highest I've ever had this. I've never had that higher before. Um, so that's a little interesting. A little bit interesting. Um, so I guess we'll see if that ends up helping me in this farming run. I don't necessarily think it has. I mean, that's where I had it on my last run, and I did. Uh, that was my last one, 12,000. Yeah, so I did 12,000. Um, which is pretty good. I mean, that's yeah. Sorry, got a little distracted. Oh yeah, I was confused. I was like, oh, that's actually pretty good. Well, my last one before that, which I had a lower amount, um, I think I had only 1.27 or 1.25 on this run, and I did 700 more waves. Look at that, 700 or 70 Q more. So, interesting though. But yeah, so I mean that's where I think things are at. Um, I got a lot of progress to make. Um, if anybody has any recommendations, leave it in the comments. This is just the beginning of this journey on YouTube here, so I really look forward um, to growing, watching you guys watch me grow, and growing as a community. I don't participate a crazy amount in Discord. I work like crazy long hours and stuff. It's just a little pastime, for me here. So I'm not crazy into the enhancement sheet or the effective pass sheets. I have one. I haven't updated it for so long that it took me like a couple hours to data entry all this stuff, and then I just don't have the time to keep up with it. I did use the run tracker. I don't remember who that one's by. Um, it's the one that got hacked a whole bunch of times. Um, and the most recent, I didn't use it for a couple months because they made so many updates where now it's like you can keep track of your stuff that matters here. All I care about is cells and coins per hour. Um, what's making me the most per hour? What's the best rate of return? Should I be in 16 or should I be in 15? Well, it tells you right there. So those became a lot less useful. And then I see a lot of things about people using the effective path sheets, and there's a lot of times that the effective path says to do this, this, and this, and I just see on Reddit, I see on Discord, I see on YouTube comments, people are saying that just doesn't make any sense, and there's a lot of agreement on that. So it's like, I don't know, for me to waste the time, to feel like I'm wasting the time on that, it's just not worth it, especially when I see like the basic things that I need that tell me, hey, am I doing a good job? So yeah. Oh yeah. One last thing. We'll just add this in. Tell me. Maybe somebody can leave me a note in the comments. How's the new background look? I think it looks pretty good. I fucked around. Pardon me. I was fucking around with ChatGPT for a long time to try to come to this conclusion. It was a lot of work. ChatGPT is not smart sometimes, But yeah, I mean, I think it looks pretty good. A lot less generic than my completely black background earlier. So yeah. Well, guys, I appreciate it. Hope you all have a great rest of the day, great night wherever you are in the world. Appreciate you watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. This is just the beginning. This is review number 2 of my tower here. So stay tuned. I'm going to try to get a little bit more fluidity with this. I just got a new monitor finally. I've been procrastinating on that for a while. I got a new monitor so I can run OBS on it. So that's kind of cool. And maybe after we pump out a couple more of these videos, see what kind of feedback we get, see if there's some viewers, we'll start cranking out some live streams. When I would live stream for like a tournament is pretty much always exactly when Bonzo would be streaming. So I don't want to necessarily overlap because I'm a big Bonzo watcher. I watch a lot of Bonzo's videos, so I'm usually watching his stream as I'm doing my tournament, and so there'll be some overlap there. Plus, I wouldn't be able to watch Bonzo's stream. So, yeah. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we're doing here. We'll see how we grow. But yeah, there's a lot more to come, guys. Well, thanks for watching.